Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Lake Branch Farms. It is the last weekend in February here in Central North Carolina, and it's an absolutely beautiful day. And if you are a serious backyard gardener, market farmer, you may be seeing something going on with the plants that you overwintered, the things that went through the wintertime and that you still have in your garden. You're probably seeing something going on with those plants right now that you don't understand. And we're going to talk about that here in just a few minutes. So every year about this time we have issues out of certain plants that think they have been through a complete life cycle, meaning that once they go through winter and they come out of that stage of coolness, they think that it's actually springtime and it's time for them to go to seed, and it's called bolting. Bolting is a term used to signify when a plant sends up its seed stalk and it actually thinks that it has went through a complete life cycle and it is entering reproduction stage. Now, we don't have a serious issue with all of our plants with bolting during the springtime, just some, namely lettuce, and it's predominantly our green leaf lettuces. Tropicana is a good example. It does it, pretty consistently every year, and I didn't plant any for early spring this year simply because of that, because last year, we lost a lot just because of bolting. And another one that I've got an example of in the field here is bok choy. Now, you can plant different varieties that are bolt tolerant or have a significantly stronger bolt tolerance, but most of the time, I can tell when it's about to happen because the bok choy is the first thing that'll bolt. And we have harvested a lot of bok choy out of this row, but this stuff here, it happens really quick with this plant, especially. To me, it does anyway. But you can see right here in these plants how these flowers are coming on, and it's sending up this center stalk. And let's see if I can break it out of here. It's sending up this stalk here that has the flowers on it. Now that is the reproductive part of that plant, thinking that it is going to, his life cycle is fixing to end, so it's going to go to seed and reproduce itself. Down here you can see are doing it. And like I said, this bok choy here, it was done anyway. We got a warm spell a couple of weeks ago and it got a lot of flea beetle damage, and we just didn't harvest anything else out of it, so it just sat here and boom. You can usually tell when you start seeing the ground temperatures come up a little bit, and like I said earlier in the video, I don't know if you can see that steam coming off of those carrot beds over there, but we are getting a really quick warming trend soil wise, and it's because of this black mulch. You can tell that everywhere there's black mulch that we've got steam coming off of these beds. And this is not the end of the world. We plant bok choy in the fall into early spring, and we utilize those crops as fall and winter crops. We don't do so much during the summer, simply because of this problem. If you get a couple of cool days and then it warms up significantly, boom, it'll bolt. I don't care how big it is. I've always had and this variety is called Bopac. Now, I know there's varieties out there that I can grow that are bolt tolerant, and I'm going to look into some of those here probably in the near future, especially when we get our new high tunnel. But this variety here, it is an absolutely delicious Chinese cabbage, and we love it. Our customers love it, and we love growing it. It's an easy plant to grow, and when it grows, in the wintertime, man, it is an absolutely beautiful plant. But the downside of it is during the wintertime, if you get, a stretch of cold weather and then it warms up significantly, it's going to bolt on you. We don't have so many issues out of lettuce during the wintertime, even with the cold, warm spells that we have, but we do have it in the spring, early spring, especially whenever you get a week of in the 30s, and then it comes out and goes straight into the 50s and 60s. My lettuce will bolt, and like I said, Tropicana was bad for it last year, and I had some red lettuce. I think it was Cherokee bolted on me really good too, and it was on my second planting after I thought we were done with cold weather. that it bolted. But yeah, that's, I mean, you didn't do anything wrong. It is in the genetics of the plant to do this. And, you know, if you grow conventional seed, if you grow organic seed and things of that nature, you can get seeds that are bolt tolerant. And you can get seeds that are, some of them are bolt resistant. But, you know, you got to play with where you're growing, and you got to play with what you're growing. So yeah, don't get all bent out of shape thinking you've done something wrong or that you got a bum seed or whatever. And or, you know, some people say that, you know, once they get like that, it's not really good to eat, that they go bitter and get woody on you and things of that nature. I don't know, I haven't ever really tried it. And then I could see to where the plant would put all its efforts into the reproductive side of it, because believe it or not, those stems on those things, man, it seems like them things can grow 6 inches in a day. I mean, it's like they shoot straight up, especially on the lettuce. So yeah, it's not nothing crazy going on, and you didn't do anything wrong. It's just part of gardening that you're going to have to get used to, and you will learn the plants that will do it quicker than others. It just the top of my head, I can remember onions doing it on us. I can remember lettuce, I can remember bok choy, and I think there was something else that did it. I can't remember right off the top of my head what it was, but I want to say it was a form of kale. I can't remember if it was curly kale or if it was lacinato, but I want to say it was a form of kale. So yeah, it's just in something you're gonna have to get used to with gardening. Nothing you can really do about it. Just, you know, distance your planting around certain times of the year, and look for bolt tolerant varieties, or just, you know, like I said, plant it when you know it'll grow good, harvest it, enjoy it, and just don't plant it when you know it's going to bolt. So I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna clean this bok choy up out of this row, and it's probably a little over half of a row, and I've got an extra tray of beets. So when I planted these guys here, I had actually planned to use 3 trays, and it didn't take 3 trays to plant this row, it took 2. So I've got an extra tray, and I'm going to plug them guys into this row here, or what's left of it. I'm gonna start from this end and work my way that way, so if I run out of room, then, you know, I know where to stop at. But yeah, I need the row space. The bok choy is not making me any money. I can put that row of beets in, or put that tray of beets in here and utilize those guys, and here in a month, 45 days, make some money on beets. So we got a lot of stuff out here hard and alt. It's just about ready to go in. We got some red cabbage. This is Katarina. We got some more beets. These are the beets that I actually primed before I put them in the trays, and you can see, man, the germination on these things are absolutely great. This is a second planting of beets that I started right after these guys, and all of this is Katarina cabbage. This is spinach, Bilko, that is battery broccoli. These are snow peas, and this is a tray of beets that we're going to put out here in the garden. All this is lettuce, and this is cabbage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. It is done. Bok choy is out. Bed has been raked. And if you remember correctly, we don't pull our plants up. We just cut them off at the ground. I go through there with a pair of snips like this, and I cut it off at the root base and leave the roots in the soil. That way, whenever they rot, they just add to the biomass that's already there. And basically what we do is just rake all of the leaf matter out of it, and you can see right there. And then we go around and plant directly back in it. Now, this bed doesn't need any mulch on it now, any compost on it right now, but the next planting it may. So what we're going to do is basically go down through here with the 4x template that I got, and you'll remember in the last video where we planted these onions that we plant beets and green onions with a 4x. Everything else we do 3x. So what this is 4 rows, 6 inches apart, and I've already got it started here a little bit, and I'm hoping that I can get at least to down there where those onions are with that tray there. If not, then so be it. I got more beets as they get a little bit bigger I can plug into, and eventually we'll probably wind up with all beets in this row anyway. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that couldn't have worked out no better. That right there is what we got left out of that tray, and it actually got us all the way down here to the onions. So, whoop, tractor lift. Put that back in there. All right, guys, so I'm gonna get off of here and start seeding these trays, but be looking for another video to come out here in the next day or two. We're gonna get started planting these potatoes down here in this plot as soon as it dries out. But if you missed the video when we were prepping our seed potatoes, I'll put a link to it up here. And if you found anything useful in this video, if you like this video, or if you just found it entertaining, click this subscribe button over here if you don't mind. As always, guys, we appreciate you stopping by. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.